I got scammed by a millionaire online, and I'm gonna just take you behind the scenes into my computer, break it down, and show you everything from start to finish. Now, I will preface this and say, this is not to knock, tear down, try to bash anyone and their business and what they're doing in the online space. But you see the kind of person I am, because I know what I am bringing to the marketplace and what I'm doing. I have to operate with honesty and integrity. And one of the things that I've shared with you guys over here on the channel is that, you see, I'm taking you on the journey. I am not gatekeeping. I am sharing everything with you. So we'll just use this as a learning experience so that you don't necessarily have to go through the same thing that I did, and that is being scammed in the online space. Because you see, the reality of it is that, these things are bound to happen, but when you're able to identify the red flags and, all of this crazy stuff, then at least that could help you to make informed decision. So yeah, in this video, I'm just going to take you through it, whether you want to call it exposing or putting someone on blast. Again, this is not to put anybody on blast, right? But if it is that you guys want to share this video with, your community so that they are aware, right? They could look out for it. You understand? I know that this individual may come across the video. They might even report the video. But the beauty of it is that, you see, if you're operating the right way and you're doing the right things, you don't necessarily have to worry about backlash or someone just sharing the truth. Yeah, just maybe you are not cut out for the online space, or, you're not cut out to help people. But I did learn a great lesson from this, right? And I'll share that with you after I take you into my computer screen, because I want you to see everything, right? And I'll just walk you through the entire journey. So to you, Mr. Millionaire, that did exactly what you did, you have no idea, right? What you did. Here is why. And I have to choose my words carefully, because I want you guys to understand that this is what irks me like to my core, especially when I try to do business with people of my culture. There is always some sort of, so sometimes you gotta go through it in order to be able to show other people that they don't necessarily have to do it, right? But I will say I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the experience, because guess what? I get to now use this, right? The first time I was scammed, it wasn't even, a big amount, right? Second time it happened to me, I kind of brushed it off. But you see, even like with this right now, in fact, I'll reveal the amount and everything. You'll see that when I take you into the computer screen, right? But let's just say, for you who are just starting out, there's something that you need to look out for, all right? And I'm going to highlight this. Who knows, maybe this person might decide that they're gonna shut down their profiles afterwards, because I know for a fact once I post this video, somehow the link is gonna get to them. So if y'all wanna go take this link and share it all over social media, do what it is that you need to do with it. But this is definitely a no-no, and I would not want this to happen to any of you. All right, so let's go into my computer screen. Hey, Rockstar. So I wanted to come in and share this with you as promised, right? Because I honestly just feel like there's so many people that is out there in the online space that is not being transparent. And as you know, like I shared earlier, this is not to kind of bash anybody whatsoever, but this is kind of like, I'll say, a learning experience for those of you who are probably new in the online space, because you will encounter situations like this that I've encountered, right? Now, I've been following this guy, Frederikus Wilford, I think maybe for almost 2 years. And I've always looked at, the way how he posts and things that he does, right? And one of the things that I did was I looked at the group that he was, I guess, offering at the time for you to join. And I requested to join that group, right? And for some reason, it's like I was left pending and wasn't accepted into the group. I guess maybe it's a part of the strategy that he uses and whatnot, right? So there was this particular day that he had posted something on his story, and I responded to the story, and I think it was maybe like about a day later or 2 days later, he responded, and then we kind of began the dialogue from there, because I'm looking for ways to, kind of improve myself and to learn more in the online space. Now, the reason why I even kind of reached out around that time, and all of this kind of happened back in September of last year. The reason why I kind of reached out to him, because you see, at the time I was starting the process of ripping my funnel apart and building out a new funnel, right? And I wanted a powerful email sequence to attach to it and all that good stuff, right? Now, I'm just showing this so that you guys kind of see who he is in general, right? Now, I guess this is his heading. Get my guarded 6-figure per month email secrets, blah, 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 right? But you are basically, putting yourself out there online. You're an email copywriter. You've generated 36 million in client revenue, right? And you build your list to $5 million profit yearly, right? And you've documented the process. Okay. Now, for me, I've been in the online space for a couple of years. So there's some things that I look at, and then there's other things that I say, you know what, I'm doing this, but I know that there is a risk that is associated on the far end of it, right? Everyone has their story and why they show up the way they do in the online space, right? Now, this, for example, is what I'm talking about in terms of the post. Let's just break this down, all right? You always on the damn computer, get a real job, blah, 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 blah. You could see that. And even if you guys want to go and check it out, you could go ahead and check it out, right? But this is the kind of strategy right here, right? Where this week inside my group, I'm showing how to write short stories using blah, 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 right? And you go now and you request to join this group, and it may take you a while to get into the group. I remember when I requested to join the group, it was like 963 persons in it at the time. And I kept, canceling my requests, rejoining, canceling my requests, and rejoining, because the strategy was, hey, I'm posting all of the information in this group, blah, blah, blah. Right. And then because, see, I know how it is with Facebook groups, because I've leveraged Facebook groups to generate income in the online space before. So I said, you know what? It doesn't hurt for me to go and learn a thing or two to improve my craft. All right. So you could see, I guess this is how he boosts his posts. And then maybe the strategy might be, you share it in what is called a boost messenger chat. And that may be like a chat or a group where, persons just go and they boost your post so it comes up in the algorithm. And boosting your post simply means that someone is just going to go and drop a comment on it, whether that is a paid Facebook group or a paid messenger chat. You just have random persons that's in the group, and they're just going to go and add a comment to your post so that it could be circulated in the algorithm or look like it got some traction, like with likes, comments, and all that good stuff, right? This is just me just kind of sharing a bit, right? So let me just kind of switch over, because I want to take it into my messenger, right? I want to take it into the messenger conversation, right? You would see where this would have been down in September. Right? Yep. This is when I replied to the story based on the post that was there, right? And you can see this was the 6th of September, right? And he came back and responded on the 10th, right? And this is pretty much where he shared the document as it relates to the email, 3K, and all of that stuff, right? Now, this is just me showing you what the document pretty much looks like for information purposes. And I don't mind sharing this with you because, like I said, I would rather be 100% transparent, take you along the journey with me so that you see the highs, the lows, the rise and the falls and all this good stuff, right? You'll see that it is broken down here where it says that, over the next 4 months, blah, 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 16 weeks together, we will package or repackage an existing offer and implement my email and social system likely in this order, right? Email profits engine, blah, 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 show, no tell content system, infinite scale consulting, all of whatever was promised, right? We will workshop every second Monday and Thursday, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern, to implement the system, right? All calls are recorded, right? And you'll see right here where it says your investment, you could pay starting $100 per week, right? Or you could go ahead and do all of that, right? In this Google Sheet, now I will preface and say that this is a Google Sheet, right? He has this disclaimer here that says no guarantees, big promises, or refunds. So only join if you are able to get results and put in the work, right? No problem. You have your disclaimer there that's in a Google Sheet, right? He shared the bonuses pretty much that you would get. And bonus is just like a way to kind of make the offer more enticing. There's a testimonial that's there that Tina is talking about what she did and whatnot. There's some email from Sam, and then another email, which these are things that I'm familiar with in the online space, and that is just some screenshot of someone's store or whatever, right? And yeah, so that's what it was right there. So let's go back into the messenger, right? Where he mentioned that went to spam. He sent me the link to check it out, blah, blah, blah. I said, no problem, right? I will review and shoot any questions over. And that was the 13th. So the 16th now, he came back. Hey, did you have any questions or ready to jump in? Today is the last day to join. Now, because I've been around in the online space, so I know for a fact that that wasn't the last day to join, right? But this is my response. Meant to message you last night, but I looked at the time and it was too late. I'm on Eastern time and work during the times you are hosting office hours etc. Do you do anything evening time? That way some of us can catch you live. And I asked, what is the link to pay, right? Here goes the response. You will be in the community as well. You'll have access to me inside. People post and ask questions all day in there 24/7, right? You can also reach me by DM inside the community, and it's actually me, not a VA, right? Boom. So you'll get your questions answered, and all classes are also recorded and posted inside. Here's the link. Boom, right? So I got the link to pay, right? And I remember when I got that link, right? Boom. And then it had up the options for you to be able to go ahead and make the purchase. And it had two options that was there, right? And what I did, I said, you know what? I don't want to linger or lag with this. Let me prove my gut wrong, or let me prove this wrong. Because you see, for some reason, whenever I say, you know what, let me go ahead and do business with some of these persons who claim to be millionaires in the online space and they are of my culture, there's always some sort of friction, some sort of pushback or something of that sort, right? So I say, cool, question. I say, I went ahead and explained what it is that I do or what it is that I offer in terms of my digital product, right? And he came back and responded with that, right? But I have my headset in, so you probably won't even hear the response, right? But he gave the short answer is to do both. And you could see my question there that I am asking, right? Where I'm asking if I could scrap those emails and set up a new email campaign using your teaching in order to get them re-engaged and convert them into a sale, blah, 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 right? And you'll see here, he go on to say, and you'll also learn to grow your email with people who have urgent problems that you can solve, right? I said, all I send out via email weekly to them is just my new YouTube video along with a testimonial from the community. And inside that email, I direct them to the sales page to get started, right? If you guys are on my email list, y'all already know that's exactly what I do. Some of you will receive a notification or an email from me whenever I release a new YouTube episode, right? So his response, yeah, that's why no sales, bro. That won't cut it, right? Gotta have strategy and send what I call insight or curiosity problem aware emails. They do best for campaign conversions, right? No problem. Everyone has their craft and whatnot, right? So I said, I know there's a problem, especially with email campaigns so vanilla. So I want to revamp that as well as the funnel. See me saying it here, right? I know exactly what I want to do, blah, 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 right? So, Whelp, we will get you taken care of from revamping offer to sales sequences to building into recurring revenue so you don't start a month at zero ever again. Any other questions I could answer? So I asked my questions. Okay, are you familiar with systemi? Right, that's where the funnel is on. But I believe it needs more work, especially pushing someone else's program. Right, which I want to move away from and lead with my own. And if anything, sell that on the back end or whatever else I want to sell. Right, system IO, yes, it works, but I like GHL better, which is go high level. Right. And I'm taking you guys through this so that you guys could see. All right. We will get your socials going as well, blah, blah, blah. Right. I see you don't post much, but definitely can help push you in the right direction with converting, even when we redo your offer, blah, blah, blah. Right. I say, yeah, I don't post much on Facebook, not like I used to. I have a health and wellness group with over 4,000 people I no longer use. Right. But guess what? That is not the only group that I have. In total, I think I have maybe like about 5 different Facebook groups where I've utilized those groups and they've made me a ton of money in the online space. So it's not like I don't know how to use Facebook, right? So me not dropping a post on my Facebook, that necessarily doesn't stop me from generating income because I could be presently absent on Facebook. You understand? And smart marketers know that the real gold mine is actually in Facebook group and communities. All right. So this is what he said. Yes, you will use my system for posting fast and engaging content. We teach that as well. Now that right there is not something that is new to me. Earlier on, I shared with you guys about boosting and whatnot, right? So I said, blah, blah, blah. That helped me a lot when I was doing network marketing. You heard me share it earlier. This is me telling him now. So it's not that I don't know some of the ins and outs of Facebook. I say, even if I do push MLM, it will be on the back end, and I don't want to promote any company to the forefront per se. So I said, for the MRR program, I've mainly been pushing that over on TikTok. So there's no need for me to, kind of be pushing on Facebook like that, right? So he said, agree, I wouldn't. More profit with your own offer, right? So Facebook need me 1.5 million and counting. I don't use anything else. No need. Facebook plus emails equal millions, right? So I said, I know my people are out there. I still work my 9 to 5. I also know that there are a ton of people who work and would like to build an online business so that they can supplement their income, right? So this is his response. So let's get you going. What's on your mind to get you over the hump to start getting help, right? We can iron out details of your offer in the community. You have options. So I said, I'm getting it, right? But I'll look at what's best. So I say, I will before the end of the day. The reality of it is, you see, me as an individual, when I see something out there in the online space, if I know I want to get it, you don't necessarily have to try to convince me or try to, sell me on something because see, I am not like new to the online space, right? But like I said, there's probably some of what he teaches I already know. So I want to do this mainly to get this whole email secret, right? So I said, I've been trying to join your group for the longest time, but for some reason, I never got accepted. But I've been following you for months. Now, I shared with you guys earlier that I tried to join that group. I even showed you earlier what time it was, right? This is me just breaking down. A lot of people want mentorship and coaching, especially those who buy the program I'm selling. We have a school community, blah, blah, blah. So that's me just giving him a rundown, right? And all of this is based on feedback that my personal clients have shared with me and whatnot. So that's just me breaking it down, right? And then let's see, my problem. I would give and give and give, and the same people I'm giving free info to turn around and go sell it to people, right? I'm always guilty of that because see, I'm a go giver. I will just help you just because, right? But I give so much good information, people take it and go sell it, but it doesn't discredit me because see, I have the knowledge. So it means then that if I don't give, then you don't have nothing to go and sell, right? So this is what he says. That's why you don't give free info, you give insight. Free teaches how to. So I'm going to go try before I buy, blah, blah, blah. Insights tell why, right? Sounds good, I said. So I came back and said, it's done, right? it's done. What time is it over there? And I'll get you set up in the community in the morning if you message me. I say it's 8:33 Eastern in the night. No problem. I'll wait for access. Send me your email and I'll get you invited. You'll also get emails inviting you, which never happened, right? So I sent my email right there. I also want to do a one-on-one call with you as a bonus to get more clarity if that sounds good. Y'all see, offered to do a one-on-one. I say, talk in the morning. I say, cool, that's fine. I not long got in. Thanks. Of course. Thank you and welcome to the community, right? Thanks. So I went ahead, right, and sent a video. As you can see, right, when I click it to go to the community, it's a error, right? It's a error. So what I did, I sent that to him, right? And I was like, I searched for the community on school because, of course, it was kind of showing the name and whatnot, right? So I searched for it on school and I requested to join. And this is where he was saying, oh, smart man, right? So this is me again bringing up back the Facebook issue, right? And he's telling me, oh, you don't need that anymore. LOL. You got my personal help. That Facebook group backlog, 300 requests. I accept a few every day and start convos like this one and sell daily. You will learn all that setup, but talk soon. Again, welcome to the club. Okay, cool. Thanks. So y'all saw when I made that purchase, right? So he said, okay. So I went ahead and asked, your processing system doesn't send receipts. So he said, go high level, check your spam. But either way, if it doesn't, I'll send one to you. No problem, right? So I went ahead and asked, just touching base with you, how do I go about booking that call with you, right? And then I went back again and I said, I never got the email or anything from your system. Now, as someone who sells products in the online space, I know about systems, all right? Immediately, if someone buys something from me, they're going to receive an email that their purchase is successful. Here is your receipt. So I'm kind of taking you guys through so that you guys could kind of see and feel out some of the red flags, right? Here comes JL, right? Freddie's executive assistant. 1 second, I'll send it over. Nice to meet you, Dean. I'm JL, Freddie's executive assistant. I'll get you scheduled, right? Here you go, Dean. When I clicked on this link, right, to book the call and whatnot, right, I said, okay, call booked. What do you suggest I do in the meantime in order to get started? See, I'm asking the question because up earlier, if you look, I'm taking you through the entire conversation, right? You're welcome to ask questions in the community and I or Freddie will answer. We had a call today and yesterday and tomorrow. I'd attend them, right? The replay should be uploaded today and tomorrow. One on creating inside content and the other Google Doc Millions, right? I see Freddie mentioned Black Friday, everyday class. You should watch that. It's already uploaded, right? Now, let me go ahead over here to school and show you the community that I had to search for in order to, request to join this. And as you could see, it says 25 members with one being the admin. All right. I think at the time when I joined this, it was 34 members. But now I guess because I kind of, reached out and query stuff, I'm no longer in this group, right? But we'll get down to that in a minute. I just wanted to show you. All right. So they sent over the link directly. And I went in and I started to watch what was recommended. And to me, I was not really, pleased, or there was no structure or anything whatsoever, right? Again, disclaimer, everyone does their teaching different. Everyone does their stuff different. But when you're someone who is quote unquote a millionaire, and you boast so much millions for these top shot people that you've generated money for, and these companies that you've worked for, how you've been around in business for 20 years, you have to have some sort of order and structure that's in place, right? So they send a direct link, right? And they say, watch, post your examples in the school for review. Anything else I can help you with right now? So I say, I'll go watch it. When I got into that community, I saw where there was little to no engagement. Pretty much nothing was happening, right? There was some pre-recorded videos inside of the community, like from maybe like months prior and whatnot. But I remember one day when I went in to kind of pick up where I left off on the Zoom, those videos had disappeared, I guess, because I'm in the community now, or persons might be coming into the community. So they're trying to get some sort of order, right? So this is me now, right? Because remember earlier they said that there would have been a call today, tomorrow, the day after, blah, blah, blah. So I said, I checked the calendar this morning and I don't see anything for a call. I don't see anything for tomorrow either. Also, I didn't get a receipt for the payment I made last night. Okay, so they say, check your email for the receipt and please let me know. I just sent it, right? Boom. So I ensure that I got my receipt, and this is my receipt for what I paid, right? And you'll see where this was done, time and everything, right? And this right here, this is a Stripe receipt. Now I use Stripe, so I know what time it is and whatnot, right? So let's go back over here real quick, right? I let them know I received my receipt because I'm wondering why your system haven't sent me no receipt or anything, right? So this is what the response. We do bi-weekly calls Monday, Thursday, right? Which are the ones you see on the calendar and described in the document. Then Freddie decided to do extra calls this week. So I'm just letting you know, but all calls use the same link, right? Okay, no problem. The link is there, blah, blah, blah. Okay. That link is 1 p.m. Eastern, same time. Okay, perfect. Thanks, right? And says, you're welcome. Also, all replays will be posted 48 to 72 hours, right? Have a great day, right? And he made some chit chat about if I work out, blah, 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 right? And I answered that, right? Now, here we are on the 27th. I know there was some tropical storm and blah, blah, blah. No problem. So this is understandable, right? You'll have to reschedule today's call, right? I guess that's where JL probably came in, his assistant, JL, right? And then I said, noted. Because of course, I already, my radars are going off and whatnot, right? So here it goes. If power comes back on, blah, 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 right? I guess from this, they kind of know that, hey, I'm kind of over this, right? Now, if you want to do Thursday instead of Friday, earlier time next week, that's available as well, right? And they say, I'd have to send a custom link as all calls show 2 weeks out on the default setup, right? Now, you said that we need to hop on a call. I'm trying to book on the call, but things happen that sometimes we cannot control. I said, not a problem. You can send a link for Thursday since today is not probable, right? Look at this. Okay, consider yourself locked in for Thursday. I'm going to get a custom Calendly link and send over as soon as possible. That's supposed to be, right? This is 127. This is 206, right? Here you go with the custom link for me to join, right? I go ahead and book, and this is what it says. It doesn't want to show on this, but it just says this invitation is no longer valid, right? And I sent that screenshot. So he said, okay, that's weird. I know all appointments not gone that fast. I sent only to like 5 people. Like, yeah, right. So I said, so what do I do? Okay, another link coming to say, try this link, right? So I asked, if you say I'm locked in for Thursday, right, and I'm getting a custom link, what happened to this? This was the response. I'll have to see, as Freddie just got Wi-Fi, and assuming that's JL, because the reality of it is, I don't know if he is both himself and his assistant JL, which will be a third person. There's little things in the online space that I could kind of teach you guys, but nevertheless, right? Check this out. Most won't have power back till Friday, blah, blah, blah. No, I live in the Caribbean where, I go through hurricanes and storms and blah, blah, blah. I already know what time it is, right? Now, you don't have power and whatnot. I know it's not the end all be all. There's like several rechargeable portable power packs that I have and whatnot. And if I'm able to have data on my phone, I have the apps on my phone that I use, I show up no matter what, especially for my clients and my coaching clients, right? So this was me after that last message. This was me. What's the process for requesting a refund, right? Please let me know. Thanks, right? Remember, I made my purchase in September and you see all the back and forth that I've been dealing with, right? Check this out. As mentioned, I was going to get Freddie to open up additional time Thursday for you, right? How are you going to, how did you mention this when I brought it back to your recollection and you said Thursday is no longer available and you wanted me to rebook right after I asked what is the process for a refund, right? So I said, which is what you wanted, correct? Or am I missing something or read it incorrectly? Let me rectify whatever issue and get you towards the result you signed up to receive. No problem. I said, there is no need to. You mentioned above about the power, etc. It's cool. Just asking what is the process for a refund? Because see, for me, if you already mentioned, there's no power and whatnot, and the call is not probable for today, if I go ahead now and ask for a refund, how is it that you're going to make the call happen today, regardless of what, is happening, right? No, I mentioned that in SC, most won't have power till then, but Freddie got his Wi-Fi back as he moved, right? Funny, right? As he moved, blah, 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 right? Yeah, there's a sound, but you moved, right? Okay, no problem, right? Not that he didn't have time on Thursday, LOL. I mentioned the times were taken quickly, as in maybe that's why the first link displayed when it showed, right? Sorry if I wasn't being clear. So quick question as I have Freddie on my WhatsApp chat. Do you have availability Wednesday? So that's even earlier, right? Thursday, we have our group call as well at 1 p.m. If Thursday is a must, later in the evening can be made available, right? So I said, I already made plans for my first scheduled call that had to shift, right? No fault of his, by the way. What's the process for a refund? You see, I'm being very persistent and asking, right? So this was the response. There was only a day responded for you to be available, which was Thursday. So never a time in stone, which is why we're being flexible to accommodate you with an earlier date. Understand you can't. And then with Thursday as well, you're still denying, even though that's the day you said you wanted to. I have to say, there's no way that I'm going to bank on you telling me now, okay, y'all will try to fit me in on Thursday when he's moved and Wi-Fi in and out and there's no power and all of this stuff. Okay, so check this out now. So what's the real issue here, Dean? Please elaborate. And if you shifted things for Thursday, what time did you shift them for? As that's not communicated anywhere in this thread. Y'all sent me a link for me to book with a specific time that I selected, right? Okay. Also, in the document you signed up for, it clearly states no refunds, right? It's still in this thread. No problem, right? So the disclaimer that I have to that is a Google document that could be edited by the second. All right. It could be edited by the second and anyone could slip this in and slip that out. So that is an argumentative point that could even go in court, right? And as someone who have sort of like background with dealing with certain stuff, because I've spent many years in banking and finance and whatnot, I already know what time it is. And especially, if there's no signatures that signed on documents now, this is not someone who's, but anyway, yeah. So let me know how we can accommodate you for Thursday. So this pretty much tells me that, they're kind of giving pushback in terms of my refund, right? So you see here, she went or he went and did a screenshot of the document, right? It says, no guarantees, big promises, or refunds. So only join if you're ready to get the results and put in the work. I've been ready to put in the work, but y'all are not giving me the opportunity to do the work, right? So look at this now. Here's the literature from your document. We're here to help people get results any way possible. We're not giving up on you, Dean. So don't give up on us, Dean, right? Please, and with all due respect, I said, Thursday is out of the question here. Remember, I got a slot for Thursday and was told I'll get a Calendly link, which I did. And when I attempted to book, it didn't even load. And I sent a screenshot. You sent a new link, excluded Thursday and whatnot. And that is okay. I said, this is week 3 of 16. It's not that I'm giving up on myself. I would never do that. Take a moment and go through the entire chat from start to finish, and you will see it from my perspective. I've read the offer and I paid in full, not to then be passed on so that someone can tell me to go watch a video, etc. And I said respectfully, right? Now, this was the response. You're not passed off, Dean. Right? If you guys go back earlier, you'll see, right? I'm not someone who, pass people off to a VA, blah, blah, blah. You get to work with me. Record ask my questions. No problem. I don't have a problem doing that, right? Now, this says, you're not passed off, Dean. And the offer doesn't say work one-on-one with Freddie. It's a group done with you offer, and no worries. I take everything you say respectfully. Freddie is literally inside school group. When you send things here on Facebook, you'll get me most of the time, right? So send it there on school. It'll be him most of the times, right? So that seems like that's the real issue, is you feel you got passed off to someone. Okay. Lastly, to show you how much Freddie cares, I'm going to add you to his one-on-one inner circle, right? Look at that, right? Which is usually an upgrade, but you're getting in there for free. Now ask me what that was, right? Do you have WhatsApp or Voxer? I'm going to connect you directly to Freddie. If you were in America, you could text him directly to his business line, boom, boom, boom. But add him there or forward your number/user to be added. Let me know and you will be talking directly to him. So I said, what's usually the cost for a one-on-one? Response, oh, much higher, but don't worry. Test it out for free, then pay if you feel it's worth it. But you literally get direct access to Freddie's voice and text straight to his business line. So your offer was $100 a week or pay in full, which I did, right? One-on-one is $400 a week or $1,600 a month, right? Or $4,500 paid in full for 16 weeks/4 months. You get one-on-one access daily and one-on-one calls monthly, plus everything else from the community and coaching and workshop. Remember, this is the community, right? And the amount of members that are there inside of the community. Okay, so I said, okay, duly noted. It sent some voice notes here, right? So this is me replying to a story, 40 where, blah, 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 right? And whatnot, right? I said, no problem. I selected my time slot for Friday, but if I am able to change to an earlier date, that would be cool. I just need to know for sure so I can switch some stuff with clients at work. If not, then the evenings are okay with me, right? Boom. Whatever young juice you're drinking, keep it up, right? So the response, okay, I'll let you know if I can get you in earlier, but either way, you have my word, you'll be taken care of. Cool. Right. So I said, I have a US number. I'll message you from there from time to time. I can't remember what this was, but I said probably have shortage with some electrical wiring, maybe some fire, right? Man, that's exactly what it was. Electrical wire on the battery had a recall sitting at the dealership. Okay, yeah, this was some issue with the vehicle and whatnot. I think this was where he was asking if I have any questions, right? But I said no, I'll drop a few later on questions, right? Do you use automated funnel? That's my question, right? And he came back with a loom. Let's see if the loom is still open, right? And I guess this is it. And you guys see that from 4 months ago. All right, so I pretty much had to share with you guys, right? So that you would see. Okay, so we jump on a call. First thing that I noticed, okay, you've generated millions of dollars. Let me just put it like this, right? And I've gone on interviews, sales calls and presentations, coaching calls and whatnot with persons who have done millions of dollars, documented proof and all of this stuff, right? And they're not afraid to come up and show their face. Okay, if I'm talking to a live person, it's a live person. Hey, you see my face, right? So that was one of the things that I took a note of, especially, when we were on the Zoom. Okay, not that you have to show your face, but like for me, that was kind of like, okay, let me scratch my head a bit even more, right? So here you are, right, trying to upsell me to another offer when you haven't even delivered on the first offer, right? And furthermore, you haven't even gone through the process of, indoctrinating me through that whole experience to create the environment to make me even want to buy. So that even turned me off even more, right? So I said, good morning, hope all is well. Just checking in to see if there is any update. RE, your last Voxer message was on the 15th, right? After our Zoom call, he needs a week to work on this game plan for me so that we're able to, knock out these goals to accomplish this by February, blah, blah, blah. No problem, right? You guys see now, this is in October, right? I said, happy Monday. I'm doing a quick follow up. Thanks, right? Boom. Now let's see. Now, his response to the whole Voxer thing was because, remember, I was provided with Voxer access to speak to him directly, right? And if I sent you a message on Voxer and maybe I got two responses within the space of maybe 2 weeks or so. So what kind of seed that is now planting for me to kind of work one-on-one with you, right? But then you come and pitch me for an upsell offer. No problem, right? So this is me. I have many Go High level accounts because these several persons who I would have purchased from, they host their stuff on Go High level. So I'm not new to Go High level. I know what time it is. If you're working on this document, blah, 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 whatever it is, right? It shouldn't take me having to go through Go High level and whatnot. That has nothing to do with me, right? If I didn't reach out to follow up, there's no communication that is being sent. There is nothing to say, okay, we're changing locations and whatnot. Now, why am I saying that? Because I've been around with, other coaches in the online space and they take you on the journey with them. If I was not following up, I wouldn't know that community is being moved to Go High level and whatnot, right? And it's not the most user-friendly software to use to host a community at that. You understand? So this is me asking, so is there no way to access the document until you finish migrating stuff? And 9 times out of 10, when you are migrating from one platform to the next, there will be a migration team that you work with for that current software that you're migrating to. And what they will do, they will go ahead and have their team do all of the migration work for you. And in most cases, they're doing it for free because they want to be able to make money from you, right? Now, look at this, right? The document links to videos inside the community. So technically, yes, you can get access, but would it be of any use? No, because the links would be dead. Okay, no problem. ETA for a new community is this weekend and you'll be good to go. Really tomorrow, but I want to be sure everything is working. Much better with everything integrated. I'll make up the delay to you in some way. Now, you see that was on the 31st, right? Now, here we are on the 3rd. Okay, since me asking, okay, was it launched, right? On the 5th. Good morning. Just circling back on this to see if there is an update. And you see me asking questions, questions, questions. So I am not getting any responses, right? So I said, I sent you a message and no response for days, right? I said, good morning. This was on the 19th. I sent an email to you guys yesterday as well as did a follow-up email this morning. Not sure if you guys saw the email. Now, the reason why I'm on Messenger, remember earlier in the Messenger, I was told JL is on here most of the time, right? So obviously my messages, they are being seen, right? So I said, good morning. I'm doing a follow-up again on this matter. I don't like the thought of being a bother, but based on the initial email advising of my refund, it has been way past 5 to 7 days mark, right? This is where I'm going now, where I'm sending the emails as well as I'm coming in Messenger and putting the emails that I'm sending, because guess what? I'm not getting any response, right? So let me just take you over here into my email so that you are able to see what time it is, right? This is the first email that I got, right? Hey Dean, this is just an update letting you know that Freddie is processing you a full refund of the $797 as he's recently had the flu and going to take time off to recover. Please allow 5 to 7 days for it to reflect on your credit/debit card statement, right? Sorry for the inconvenience this may have caused, right? This says JL Freddie emails. Now, this is at the beginning of November, right? And that's pretty much like, okay, so I purchased in September, and there's October. September to October is 1 month, and then October to November is 2 months, right? Now, I'm gonna show you guys, right? We go back here where they sent that notice of the refund. That's there, right? This is me. That's the 5 to 7 days, right? This was the 7th, right? See, on the 17th, I'm following up. Can you kindly send me the reference number for the refund so that I can forward over to my accountant? Thanks in advance, right? The 17th. Look at this now. Yes, I'll get that for you. I'm just an assistant, LOL, but I'll forward it to Freddie as he'll get that to me and I'll send it over to you as soon as possible, right? Okay, no problem, right? So I go back on here. Good morning, right? Any update on this? You see me following up again on the 21st, right? Remember, they came and said they've decided to issue my refund, which they did, right? But it's taken 5 to 7 days. So let's go here. This is me following up on the 21st, right? On the 22nd, I should hear from him today. So what you're wanting is a Stripe ID from the initial purchase so you can track it for your accounting, just being clear, right? I use Stripe. So you see, whenever you issue a refund, there's codes and stuff that is attached to stuff, right? To the transactions, right? This is me. I said, it could be the reference ID for the refund. It's been way past 5 to 7 days, right? Way past 5 to 7 days, right? And y'all see how I'm actually kind of teaching them what to do, right? No response, right? So I said, good morning. I'm doing a follow-up once again on this matter. I don't like the thought of being a bother, right? Five to seven, because it passed the 5 to 7 days mark. If you look here in Messenger, this was when, I'm sending my emails. I'm not getting responses. So I'm sending them in Messenger as well, since she is on Messenger, right? Or they're both on Messenger, right? So this is me again, right? As you guys can see, blah, blah, blah. Here I am once again with another email, and it is quite disappointing if you ask me. For someone who's selling email marketing, there should be a better turnaround time in your responses. Nevertheless, to date, it has been 19 days since I was advised I would be refunded, and I am still waiting for a simple confirmation of the refund, right? That I have yet to receive. I use Stripe and have dealt with issued refunds before, and the process is neither complicated nor drawn out. If this is how other people are handled, then as a business owner, you really should look at ways to improve/work on your customer service process. I'm not one to complain. I do hope you appreciate my feedback. Daily, you are on social media because that's how you make your money. And I quote, right? Because I've seen where I've sent you messages and there's no response, but every day you're on social media, you're posting stories and da 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 da, right? That wasn't the case prior to me making the purchase. I am really not sure what happened along the line, but at this point, all I will say is whenever I go against my instincts, there have always been consequences. Again, kindly provide me with the reference number for the refund because to date I have not received anything like I requested. Looking forward to hearing from you or someone from your team, right? And the reason why I did this because see, I know if there is a refund request, guess what? Okay, here's a refund number. I could or Stripe. I could send this to my accountant, do whatever it is that I need to do, right? Check this out, right? Dean, I assure you, you have been issued a refund as of yesterday. I confirmed myself. We had many to send back on the particular product you purchased due to Freddie being sick and some were looked over. I'll follow up with you in 3 to 5 days, right? Could you please show me an example of the reference number you're saying is issued from Stripe on refunds? I'm not seeing that on my end. My apologies, and you were right. It wasn't issued, but it is now. So you see how long it took for them to issue my refund, right? All the while I was following up, it was not issued to me, right? See, she came and said it's issued now, right? Let me go back and see if I could find another. This was that, and this was me, right? I say, hi JL, you can send a simple screenshot showing where my transactions was refunded since this was almost done 4 weeks ago. Once I get to my computer, I will send an example, right? Now, as you guys can see what is going on, right? So see, 2 screenshots attached. Please reply letting me know you received them, right? Now, let me see if these would open up, right? This email is to confirm that your refund has been issued by BMP. It can take approximately 10 days, right? Now, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, right? Now, look at this, right? It shows where my transaction, right, was quote unquote refunded, right? Description, email 3K, blah, blah, blah. Now, let me tell you the thoughts that run through my mind. This right here does not really say much, right? This could be a screenshot from any sort of refund, blah, 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 for anybody, right? An image like this, so vague, you could easily take something like this and write refund or edit it to how you want it if they want to go that far, right? Reason being, because see, like for me, I wanted a screenshot because see, I've issued refunds before and I attached something to them to let them see what it looked like since quote unquote, they don't necessarily know what quote unquote refund looks like, right? So that's 2 screenshots. So this is what I sent Freddie via DM on Facebook. So maybe you'll come across it, right? This is what I sent them, right? You see the reference number, blah, blah, blah. The transaction details and everything. I'm not new to Stripe and I'm not new to the online space, right? So guess what? I mean, everybody does their stuff different, right? So I said, how is it that you preach marketing on Facebook and dealing with clients in DM strategy where you barely respond to DMs in a timely manner? Yeah, we're all busy, but if this is how you handle your business, it's quite sad. But nevertheless, I am here once again following up on my refund that was supposedly issued, right? And this is where I attach the example. Now, this is December 4th, right? Remember, I made the purchase in September, right? Now, this is almost at the 3-month mark, right? For the transaction. Now, let's just go right here, right? Where I said, good afternoon all, right? This is December 16. Season's greetings and I hope you are well. I am just doing a quick follow up on my refund. Last communication was on the 4th of December, right? When this refund was quote unquote issued, right? But to date, I have not received it. Kindly advise what is going on, right? So that was on the 4th. Now look at this, right? Hey there, Freddie instructed me to have you file a chargeback, right? Y'all see the date, December 18th. I know, crazy, right? But Stripe has frozen 50,000 for over a month now. They're known to do this. And so until resolved, not much can be done. We have a new merchant account with an internal system. This is the fastest resolution, unfortunately, as we do not want to keep you waiting. Thank you. For over a month, you have over $50,000 frozen, number one, right? You've had me in a back and forth dilemma, as it relates to my refund not being issued and overlooked and all of this stuff. You wait until after the 3 months mark of the transaction to then come with this, talking about filing a chargeback. Now, as someone who has worked in the banking system for 16 years, I know straight off the bat when I saw this, I say, oh yeah, now you've done it, right? So guess what I'm going to do? I am going to be very transparent, and I'm going to share with my audience, and I'm going to let them know that, hey, sometimes you'll encounter situations, but guess what you have to do? Let it be like water on the duck's back. But you see, a lot of persons may have gone through this, but they didn't have the bandwidth or the balls enough to follow through and to, be so persistent, right? Now, let me tell you guys, you see, when you do your card transactions, there's like a 90-day time span that is associated with the cards or the transaction and the reconciliation on the banking and the merchant window and whatnot, right? So you see, after that 90-day window has passed, it becomes difficult for you to go to your bank to try to go to get them to recover a transaction. All right. So that's a learning note for all of you that are on here. So for me, I looked at this entire process as them, just dragging it all the way out for it to get outside of that 90-day window, right? For me to what? Now go to my bank, for my bank to tell me that there is nothing that they could do, to charge back or file a charge back on this transaction because it is outside of that 90-day window, right? Yep, I already know what time it is, right? So we'll look at this. Let's just continue, right? I said this, right? Good morning. I am so sorry to hear that, but in all honesty, it shouldn't be anything that impact me. If I file a chargeback, how will that be processed if you're currently on hold? I guess something is probably stamped on my forehead, right? I say, furthermore, if I was issued a refund that is quote unquote in process, would it even make sense to go do a chargeback, right? And notice I'm putting things in quotation. I said, if it's any easier, you can always Zelle my money back to me. I really don't see why I have to go through all this hassle from a 7-figure business owner in order to get my money back. And I said, unbelievable, right? Now, this was the response. Chargebacks are issued/handled from your credit card, debit card bank, right? It has nothing to do with the merchant. It'll reverse the charge, right? I said, unfortunately, that's the only option at this point as we do not have access to the Stripe account as all transactions are pending. If you're saying you still haven't received a refund we processed weeks ago, now it's weeks ago when it should have been processed from what? Months ago, right? Whether 7, 8, or 6 figure, it has nothing to do with the issue we're facing or the ability to access the Stripe account. So hold the smart remarks, please. Thanks for understanding. I wasn't given any smart remarks. I was just, stating facts, right? Because see, for me, if I'm someone who, I value customer service and whatnot, whatever issue that is going on with my business, it has nothing to do with the customer, right? Number one. Secondly, I'm going to communicate, right? And thirdly, if I'm someone who bragged that I make seven figures and I got all of these fancy material things and whatnot, why is there an issue for you to pretty much issue my refund, get me my money when I've provided other alternatives for you to give me my money back, right? Now, if I had gotten my money back, I probably would have still done this entire case study like what I did, and I would still teach you guys, the things that you're gonna experience out there in the online space. But guess what? That shouldn't deter you, or that should allow you to stop going, or to tell you to stop pushing, and going out there and whatnot. You understand? And that's where they send that. Yeah, I just wanted to do this, to share it with each and every single one of you, because remember now, we're in the month of February, and this would have been the month when, they work with me and I would have been well on my way and knocking it out of the park and whatnot and all of this good stuff, right? So again, this is for learning purposes. Feel free to share this with someone who's in the online space so that they are knowledgeable about what, could happen out there. And secondly, if it is that you even want to go post it on your social media, go ahead and share this video, because see, it's a learning process for everybody. You understand? And I know 9 times out of 10, Freddie or JL, they might come across this video and they might not like the fact that I did this, right? And again, this is for, educational and awareness purposes, to let you guys know that not everybody that you see out there in the online space that is posting are who they quote unquote post to be. All right. Because if you're someone who generates 7 figures on an annual basis, you should have absolutely no problem giving me back my $797, right? Just like you promise, you claim, and whatnot. This is just my lesson to learn. And guess what, guys? Guess what? We move on from it, right? We learn. No investment that you ever make in yourself, you should ever regret it. All right. Just know that. Some will be lessons for you to learn, so that guess what, you do better the next go around. All right. So yeah, definitely. I hope you guys got some value in this video. All right. Feel free to let me know in the comment section. What are your thoughts? If you have any questions, if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But until the next one, take care and just go and be a good human being. All right. Especially if you're out there, trying to build an online business, or you're doing stuff in the online space, just go and knock it out the park. All right. Until the next video, blessings always.